Welcome to the D.Fos podcast, where we drop insight, inspiration, and information. On today's episode, we have Greg and Marquetta Deville of Deville Realty Group. All right, the D.Fos podcast. Welcome to a new episode with Team Deville.
All right.
Greg Deville and Marquetta Deville. Appreciate y'all coming. How y'all doing today?
Doing
Good,
great,
good.
Dave.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for taking the time out. I know y'all very busy as realtors. There's always something going on. I always catch your show. I always catch your show on Friday. That's a good thing though, being busy. Like I always catch your show on Friday. So just wanted to really tap in with y'all and y'all leaders in the industry in Las Vegas in the real estate market. Love what y'all doing. You're always out there in front offering information.
Yes.
Not just I want to sell your house, but I love how y'all incorporate information.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, you turning the home ownership into a reality, not just a dream.
That's
Right.
So I definitely want to bring y'all on. And if we can start, Greg, with yourself,
Yes.
both of you guys, your Vegas roots. So
Okay.
you originally from Vegas?
So no, I moved here 20 years ago. Came from Southern Cal.
Okay.
And I've been in home improvement, all those years. I got here and Vegas was growing and booming, man, in 2001.
Okay.
And so it elevated to doing more real estate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And like when you started out, you said you was in home improvement first,
Yes,
right?
right,
Okay. So
right.
just doing like the fixer-uppers
Yep,
in the houses,
exactly.
like remodels and
That's
stuff
it.
like that?
That's
okay.
it. Yep.
Okay.
Fixing homes and turning over ugly houses, the little thing we buy ugly houses kind of thing.
Yeah, that stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So you had a tradesman background?
That's it. I'm a plumber by trade, but I'm a handyman by skill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I heard that. And so what made you that transition to get into that side of it, the other side of it, the agent side of it? Like being a realtor?
When I would improve a home, man, these realtors were coming in a sport coat and a Mercedes.
Right.
After I fixed them, in 2 days they were selling them.
God,
And one day I got a hit, man. I'm like, you know what? I need to get my license and be able to put my own signs in the yard. And so, 3 years later, I started studying real estate. Took me a minute to pass. Didn't pass it right away.
Okay.
Nonetheless, I passed it. Continued to. And just as I passed my license, the market crashed.
So that was around when?
2005.
Okay, 2000.
Yeah.
Right there.
And
right
in
in
2006,
Okay.
we were doing the flips. 6 things were getting bad. 7, the bottom was falling out.
Yeah, I remember.
8
Okay.
bottomed out.
Yeah.
And so
right when you got in early.
right as I got in, man, but because I did home improvement, I could sell a house and I could fix the house. So when they would buy it, I would tile, paint. So that made the back end of the deal for
Oh,
me.
you got it on both ends.
Yeah. So it made the back end. I don't get to do that much now.
You on the front end.
Because I'm on the front end.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm that sport coat Mercedes
Yeah,
guy.
right.
Right. I'm that guy.
Yeah, the game didn't change.
Yeah, but I still
right.
do. Don't get it twisted. I still do home improvement.
If you got to do something.
Yeah, I do.
do.
I got all my tools. I still get out and do stuff.
Yeah, see,
right.
that's a good
Absolutely.
skill to have.
Absolutely.
That's a good skill to have. Yeah. And Marquetta, where you Vegas? You originally from Vegas, right?
I was born and raised in Las
Born and
Vegas.
raised.
Yep.
Okay.
Born and raised in Las Vegas. I grew up in Valley View.
Okay.
Over off of Lake Mead. Yep. I
Okay.
grew up in Valley View. Later, toward high school, I went to school more in the East Las Vegas. I moved from high school to North Las Vegas, so I've been all around the Las
Vegas roots.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
My family goes back 3 or 4 generations in
Really?
Vegas. Yep.
Wow. And so when did y'all meet? When did y'all meet?
2012.
2012, I started
2012.
getting at her. But I met her. Yeah. But I met her in 2011 at the eyeglass store. I was buying glasses. And I didn't know. I just know she was a pretty lady. But some other things going on in my life at the time.
Yeah.
And when I ran into her again at Naida Parsons Church, she was holding her for me.
That's our
Your
church,
home
yeah.
church.
Yeah, that's your home church. Yeah, she was holding her for me.
Okay.
Man, look at that pretty lady. Yeah, you know how we do, man.
Yeah,
you know,
see something, yeah.
capture the game. Yeah.
Right. And so when did you get into real estate? But when did you get into to the game? Was you inspired by what your husband was doing, or like what?
Yes. So as you know, I was a optical manager for Lens Crafters for 10 years.
Okay.
And when I met Greg, I was maybe 2 to 3 years in at Lens Crafters at that time. And so when I started to see the market pick up and Greg was making what I was making as a regional manager for Lens Crafters, in like a month or 2 months.
Literally.
And I would go to work every day, 40 hours. 40 hours was the minimum that I worked. And I was trying to work and go to school. So finally, about 3 years ago, my daughter was a senior, getting ready to be a senior in high school.
Okay.
And it became an opportunity for me to exit Lens Crafters.
Change careers.
Yes.
Totally. Yeah, okay.
Yep,
Okay.
total career change. I was able to leave Lens Crafters, spend more time with the family. We were down to one kid, so and we had just had a grandson. So we decided, Greg had opened Deville Realty Group, and I was kind of helping manage Deville Realty Group from home and trying to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week.
It's just crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
And he said, I need help. I'm like, you sure do? But I never knew that I was the help that he needed. And so when he said, he turned over one night, he was like, man, I really need what they have you doing at Lens Crafters. I need it at Deville Realty Group.
Right.
So I was like, okay, but I was scared. I was definitely
just
scared.
Jumping out there or taking the real estate thing, just taking.
Well, originally I wasn't going to be a realtor. I was just going to manage the company that we had started as a couple.
Okay.
And so when I got in and I kind of got things fixed, we opened our third location, and I
got 3 locations.
Yep, North Las Vegas, Summerlin, and Henderson. So when we opened the third location and then we relocated our Northwest location, I was like, I want my real estate license.
Well, just if I could interject, when she joined the team, I didn't need another realtor. I had about 20 realtors on my team.
Okay.
I didn't need a realtor, I needed an administrator. And so that was my goal for her. Because people were like, oh man, the husband and wife team. I said, I don't need a team. I don't need a husband and wife duo. I need somebody that's got my back. Because I would hire people, and they would show up it's 10 to 6. They would show up at 10:05 and want to leave at 5:55.
Right.
And so I needed somebody that was
or
committed.
not even show up.
Not even
until
show up.
we see him
And
somewhere
so I
else.
needed somebody. I'm like, she was committed. She was committed to Lens Crafters. I needed that commitment.
That same commitment.
That's it.
Right,
I didn't need another realtor. And that's why people saying, well, why is she not? I didn't need that. I need somebody that's really administrating. And so I say Lens Crafters trained her for what I needed her to be. And so then after she got it leveled off, she got things in order, then she said, babe, I want to be a realtor. I'm like, go for it. Because now we got the business.
Okay.
Got
it leveled out, maintained.
There you go. That's it.
That's beautiful. I like how you said y'all partners in life and business.
Yes.
Right.
And that's a beautiful, especially in a game like this.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Marquetta, what are some of the challenges you face coming up, starting out being a realtor? It look like, I see, follow you on social. It look like you're doing your thing, but what are some of the early challenges you face?
I would say one of the biggest challenges that not only myself, well, you said that I face as a realtor. So in our current market, I would say the challenge is really knowing how to negotiate your transactions as a new realtor.
Okay.
I'm newly licensed, but I've been married for 10 years, so I've heard the conversation. So just navigate.
The lingo, the language.
Yes. I've learned the tricks of the trades before I became a realtor. So
because she's sleeping with the broker.
I studied the broker.
You got to, man. And, what was the inspiration of going from agent to broker? Was that allowed you to be able to scale, or were you limited just being an agent?
That's a good question. How did that break down? I'll tell you what really broke the camel's back, if I could say that. When I saw the money I was giving to the other company, because I started my radio show in 2016, and I was killing the game. The information I was giving.
I mean,
you have a free information.
And I was putting, and it wasn't free. It was free for them, but it wasn't free for me. I was paying for it.
You're right. Okay.
But when I looked at what I had given the other brokerage, it was as if God said, "Now is your time."
So you was working under another.
I was under another brokerage at the time when I started, and I had been putting off doing Deville because I was in the rhythm. But the Holy Spirit began to say, "Now is your time to start Deville Realty." So I went back to take the broker's test. Didn't work out for me. I had to go back to school.
First time,
2 or 3 times taking the test.
So it's levels to this, man.
The testing, you got to be reading comprehension has to be well. I could build from vision.
Okay.
I'm a visual learner.
Okay.
So I could look at a box and put a whole bike together.
Okay.
But if I got to read instructions, I'm second guessing doing it.
Okay.
You feel me? So when it was time to go to school, I really want to do that. But I had to do it because God was giving me, it's your time, baby. You got to do it.
Yeah,
so I had to bust them. I had to. Man, I gave that lady $35,000 in 1 year just.
You was giving it to him how? Like what? Just
so
from
transactions.
Other agents?
Transactions. So I'm doing enough deals a month. Every deal I do.
I see what you're saying.
You get $5.95 on every deal that I do.
God, you
so I'm
doing all that out.
And I'm sending all that to this one brokerage.
Wow.
So it's time for me to do my own. I said, man, if I'm paying her that a year, I could do my own thing.
Okay.
So it was in me to go ahead and do my own thing.
I see.
I failed at taking it. And I like to tell that because people think it was an easy journey.
Yeah.
Man, I take the test 5 or 6 times. To just pass. And I had been an agent for 10 years.
But an agent and broker is two different things.
So the book world from real estate and the real world is a different world. See, the stuff you learn is like when you went to school, you learned algebra. In the real world, you don't use algebra.
You don't use it.
Unless you're in bookkeeping or something that you need it for. But when the
day.
last time I did an algebra equation? You feel me? So that's real estate. Real estate teaches you stuff like algebra. You had to learn it. Did you really need it? Real estate is the same way. There's book knowledge that you don't necessarily, that you got to learn it.
You got to know it.
Okay. But in the real world, we don't use it.
Oh.
And so it took me back to, and I just didn't do well. So 3 or 4 tests taking, I finally passed. And man, I was so excited. And I just bought a house. I just bought a home. So December 2016 was a booming year because we closed on our home December 29th. Wow. I got my brokerage license. I got licensed December 16 or somewhere around in there.
So that was
in 1 year, man. So we went into 2017, a whole new chapter.
That was the start of it.
But I didn't want Marquetta to stop her job because remember that's my security blanket.
Okay.
Her $6,000-7,000 a month was that security
on the regular job.
On the regular job,
really?
Yeah, for her. So when God came to me and said, I was praying, Lord, I need good help, and the Holy Spirit showed me she right next to you.
She right there.
And I'm like, the first thing come to me, man, that's my security blanket.
Because of the job is like it's gonna be there the 40 hours.
That's it.
As opposed to trying to make deals every month like that. Okay.
That's
and
it.
not just the 40 hours, the life insurance, the health insurance,
that's priceless.
If you paid time off.
Right.
So how did you feel about giving all that up? Was it like
was hard.
You give it up for freedom though too? You got for freedom on the other side of this though.
Right.
Was it hard to give that up?
It was hard. It was definitely hard because, and actually when I left June of 2018, and I told them to put me on a leave of absence.
At least you're covering your bases.
Right. Yep. I took a leave of absence, and then God said, until you totally let go, I'm not gonna bless you like I need to. So
Look at God.
Yeah.
So I had to call. They were calling. You could still. And my regional had moved companies and everything. And she was like, "Well, you can come over here if you like." And I was like, "No." And when I totally let go, we grew leaps and bounds. And Greg said we had 18 agents. We had 8 agents in 2008. And now we have 43 agents. So we just started. Team of 8. So we just started to grow leaps and bounds when I was faithful.
Team and everything.
Well, people would call us. People would call and say, "Man, we see what you're doing in the community. We want to be a part." They were big with big other companies, and they want to join us because we're in the community.
You're in the community. That's one thing I noticed about y'all.
We're in the community. We're empowering the community.
Like you said, would you say it's 15,000 realtors?
Yeah, it's 15,000.
It's all about who's out there and who you see, and I seen y'all. You know what I mean? Everybody, I do real estate, I do this, but I really seen y'all presence in the game, and I'm like, man, they really putting in the work to do that.
Yeah, and that's what God had put on my heart as the broker and the owner to start off, and then incorporate Marquetta into it. Is what I showed her was the checks that was coming. She was like, man, you made that. It took me 6 months to make that.
And 6 months plus bonuses.
And it ain't no cap on your income.
No cap.
No
cap. But the danger for anyone that would get into this business is make sure you stay up on your taxes.
Okay.
Because the tax, you get in a tax bracket, and you have to make sure you're paying those taxes.
Right.
Because when that comes around, you want to pay those.
At the end of the year, they're going to be looking for it.
They're looking for it. And if you don't pay, it just calculates higher and higher. And so recently we had some tax challenges we had to deal with because we made a ton of money. but I got on a payment plan, and I was so happy that they put me
Man.
on that thing.
Hey, well, man, that's a good problem. Man.
Right.
You made too much money.
Right. Now you got stuff.
Man.
And Uncle Sam like, but you ain't got with me, bro. When you gonna holler at me?
You know. And like you said, it just
he like, I like to eat too.
Yeah.
Wow,
absolutely.
Man. That's a great story, though. That's great to hear. Rolling into, you know, how we went through 2020 and 20, you know, what do you think the pandemic's effect was on, of course, the world, but like as far as real estate, people losing their jobs, like what effect did y'all feel from that?
You know, if I could take this, I made more money in the pandemic than I made in my whole career.
Are you serious?
I made more money in the pandemic. Homes, the interest rates went so low.
Right, I remember you
That
said
in
that
December,
yesterday.
there was 4,000 homes sold in Las Vegas.
Oh, really?
We didn't do it,
so
but
what
I'm
do you
saying
think,
overall,
what was going on?
collectively.
Was it like the people losing their jobs and like how do you
But see,
explain that?
we dwell on the negative, but there was so many people that didn't lose their jobs.
Right.
There was so many people that still had jobs. There was so many people that still.
And there were some people that flourished.
Yeah,
in the
right.
program.
And we in real estate, and most of your agents, in fact, the real estate schools grew during the pandemic. More people went to school to be realtors than anybody. Because everybody like, man, look at the money they make in 1 month. Can you see yourself doing $140,000 in a month?
That's crazy.
52,000 in a month.
That changes your life, man.
It
That
does.
changes your
So
life.
that's all I'm saying. So when people hear that, when people hear that, like, bro, man, you're an
Right.
engineer right now. He's like, man, I'm in the wrong game. But you know, but be careful because it looks glamorous. But there are deals like yesterday. I had a deal that almost didn't close. You feel me? Because the old man didn't want to sign because he had a dementia moment. And he was like, my mobile notary's there to sign him. He's like, I'm not signing that. I'm not signing my life away.
What?
And so he had a moment that he would. So I did a 9 o'clock show. You heard me at my 9 o'clock show yesterday. I got off there and I have a 10 o'clock show across town.
On AM, right?
On an AM. So I'm on my way to my AM. She calls me, says, Deville, he's not signing. And so I go do the second show. By the time I'm done there at 11, she said, we're almost done. So I'm like, oh, praise God, man.
Right.
You know.
But it be those type of moments.
Type
It
of
ain't
moments,
all-
you know.
Yeah, and I know y'all grind for it. It's
So it's
super
not
competitive. I already
It
know
is.
Mm-hmm.
it's competitive.
And you
but-
deal with things that, you know, everybody sees the payroll. Everybody sees, but you don't see behind the scene, you know, those type of situations that create moments where you kind of like, is it going to happen?
Right.
Because 1 month, I lost 2 deals. Well, that's $18,000.
Golly,
2
it
deals
just
that
fell
fall through just don't happen. You know, that's why you can't account that money until the
Until-
check gets in your
Two
office.
checks clear.
Until
Check,
title
yeah.
say you have recorded.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the operative word. The operative word is recorded.
Right.
I've always been fascinated by real estate, and I've always wanted to get into it. But I know it takes some money. I don't know what path I'm gonna take to get into it. But I've always known that, like, you know, rolling into the next thing. Explain your concept about creating wealth through equity. I know that's one of your taglines.
That is that's Deville Realty's
That's our
tagline.
motto.
Yep, creating wealth through equity. So the example that I give is, and I use my wife and I most regularly to, so that we're transparent.
Okay.
You know, we bought our home in 2016, December 29, 2016. And we're refinancing the house. I'm waiting on the appraiser. It's coming back. We owe $270.
Okay.
It's going to appraise nearly $500,000.
God.
So that means if it comes in at 500, we have over 180 in equity in 4.5 years. How can you save $180,000 in 4.5 years?
Can't even make
can't.
it.
You-
What
yeah.
do you
No,
get
no.
in
A lot of
return on your
people
money
don't.
like that?
Right.
Right.
So that's not money that's savings or earned. That's just money from owning the house. That's just money because we paid the mortgage down. That's money because every month we pay the mortgage, the home value is increasing, and that's what Las Vegas does. And so when I tell the audience about creating wealth through equity, and then I'm giving you the money down, because people, I just don't have the money down. I got $20,000. If I could sell your home with no money down, would you buy it? Because I want to put you up on game of creating wealth through equity. Real estate is by far the greatest.
It is.
And I think Marquetta has a slogan that she got from
Franklin Roosevelt.
Franklin Roosevelt.
He said it many years ago.
Yeah.
There's no way to gain financial stability like you gain with the equity in realty.
That's true.
So
That's true. 'Cause
it's
going up.
crazy.
It keeps going up, right? So the value increases. So, and then have good tax professionals, good team lenders. Because I was talking to my lender about the refi, and so she said, Deville, we're gonna refi now, and then by February, she says you can go buy that other house you want using the other part of your equity. And guess what? This is not touching savings.
No.
This is nothing. This is all in with the house. So when I'm telling the community, let me put you up on game. Let me get you a house, even if it's no money down. Listen, I give minimals on my show. People talking about, well, I got a 700. I need you to at least just have a 6. If you got a 600, I can get you in.
At least a 6.
At least a 6. And a veteran, I need at least a 580.
If you got money.
If you got money.
If you got your own money. And I think, not to go backwards, but when we talk about what happened in the pandemic last year, so many people were smart with the money that we got from the stimulus check to the unemployment, and people either started they started their businesses, they corrected their credit, and some people didn't correct their credit, but they listened to the talk show and they know if I got at least a 550 credit score and I got a lump sum of money in the bank, I can buy a home.
Or the 401k. The other ones people didn't realize is they could buy a home using a 401k. Because see, most people use their 401 to go buy a new Navigator. The new CTS Cadillac, you know, or that Charger, or that Charger.
So you get it, the
value depreciate. Right. And so I'm not against a Charger. I'm not against a big 550. I'm good with that. But put your priorities in order. Get you some real estate. Don't park a 550 at an apartment building. No disrespect to nobody.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but if you got a 550, hey, this is what I said on my show. If you got a Land Rover and a landlord, you need to call me.
Right.
Hear what I said. Yeah. If you got a Land Rover, and a landlord, you need to call me. Because your priorities are backwards.
Right.
So even though your credit's not ready now, we even have a plan, because we weren't ready in 2015.
Okay.
But I met a guy, he just happened to call me. I believe God had this boy call me. I said, Deville, it's this new program. He said, I hear you on the radio. I think you could sell it on radio. I said, man, I got to try it out first before I could sell it on the radio. Program he had was to learn about disputing derogatory credit. So I got on the program, and man, I went from a low 500 in 2015 to a 677 in under 60 days.
Golly.
And man, I've been turning everybody onto it.
See, that's game.
And so that's why everybody today, and even a lot of new home builders are making money, you know, but they hearing me on the show, they just walk into the new home builder.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? They walking in without calling me, you know, and they excited, I understand. And God had to show me that even though I didn't make the commission on that, I got the credit for it.
You got the credit.
Because I was the motivation behind you going to look at, see, can I buy, I've been here in Deville, can I buy a house? You know, and then that made them go and they got approved. People get approved. People have called me for rental, Foster, who said, I want to rent. I said, before I put an application on a rental, talk to my lender. Over
like
my
the
career,
veteran clients we just
closed on a client who thought they were looking to rent, set them up with one of our 8 or 9 lenders we have. They called one, lender ran the credit, said, you can buy up to $320,000. They're like, for real?
Really?
We were looking to rent. We out, they just bought a home for right here in a gated community. Didn't even know they was going to buy some Chinese food next door to my office, saw the sign on the building, and said, do you guys help with rentals?
Wow.
And being that I trained Marquetta how to do this, you know, don't miss no money now. You know
how to close them.
She said, well, let me set you with a lender, and sure enough.
We did go out and look at a rental.
Yeah. But in the back of her mind,
early in the morning too. 8 o'clock in the morning. I was like, whew, okay, but wait, you a veteran? Oh no.
Yeah. Because veterans, they got benefits like they can get no money down or something like that.
So I trained the team.
And they can go low. There's some veteran programs you don't need a credit score for. Really? You just have to have an extremely low debt to income ratio.
Okay.
And this is stuff we empower the community to know. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody said, man, I'm a realtor, but I learned a lot from your show. I'm a realtor. And they're realtors.
And they learning from
me, you know, who's putting the information. But when I've been assigned to this charge that I've been given, I just keep doing what I'm doing. Because I'm being fed. We being fed real well.
Right.
Now, we not getting a lot more that we probably could. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we doing good. I got a boat that sit on the lake. I feel like a 32-footer cabin mini yacht.
Yeah.
I feel like
nice.
God is
good.
good.
And how was that, man? I see you went to the Black Boaters. How was that,
man? Phenomenal.
Is it like an annual thing?
It's an annual Labor Day weekend, Black Boaters on the lake.
Everybody just meets up.
Everybody, they come from California, Arizona, Texas. Man, it was, I set some pictures out there. Man, it was the most beautiful thing I ever seen. This many, I'm talking about in this cul-de-sac on the lake, all black folk on houseboats.
Wow.
My wife was in Florida.
Yeah. Right.
And I stayed on the lake, man. It was phenomenal, man. I slept on my boat because I have a cabin cruiser. It's a house.
See,
and it was
that's nice,
man. It was beautiful. I'm gonna take you out one day because you had me on the show. I'm gonna set you up on this ride, man.
Nice, man.
But it was absolutely beautiful to see.
Yeah.
Just black folks, man, who have.
Was it a lot of realtors or people from
No.
walks?
No, it's retired people, working people. It's just a boaters weekend. It's not any particular class of people. It's some of everybody.
Yeah.
Like I said, they get together for this every year.
Okay.
They plan for it. So when they turned in the rental boats, because they rent these big house boats, and when they turn those, they're making the arrangements for next year already. They're putting deposits for next year to reserve it.
On the calendar.
On the calendar for next year to reserve it.
Right.
Hopefully we have enough water in Lake Mead for that.
Right,
but yeah.
right. You was in Florida. You went to one of Dion's games, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, how was that? How was it?
Yeah.
The energy is
I bet it was
crazy.
crazy.
We were at the
Yeah,
Sonic Boom. So
Yeah.
FAMU and JSU have one of the two best bands from HBCUs. So it was
Huge,
great.
huh? Yeah,
it was
I've seen
huge.
that. Yeah. Dion bringing a lot of energy to the
He
program.
is.
A lot of
He
energy to the
is.
program.
Yep.
That's crazy, man.
Wonderful.
It was great to see all the boys. He had custom made suits. I believe it's either Shaq or Steve Harvey's suit line. I believe it's Steve Harvey's suit
He
line.
got a suit line. Yeah,
He
everybody decked
made
out.
all of them had custom suits. They were all navy blue, and then of course Dion was bright red.
Yeah, you gonna show out. You know,
Right.
But of course.
Yeah, that is crazy.
You put that together, you gotta shine.
Right.
Yeah.
Got to. Definitely. Do y'all think we in a bubble? A lot of people say, "Well, I'm just waiting on the market to do this, the market to do that." What are your what do you say the state of real estate is 2021 going into 2022? What would y'all say about that?
So when people talk about a bubble, I've done some research. So in 2007, there, like worldwide, it was about $9 trillion in equity. In 2020, and that was in 2007.
Okay.
In 2021, we have over double that amount of equity in homes. So when
That's a lot of money out there.
right,
Yeah,
when you
absolutely.
say bubble, we're not looking to pop. People are looking to sell to get their money, just like us. We're not in default, but we see the vision we can do with the equity in our home. So right now we take out, $60,000-$70,000, but we have $180,000 in
Plenty
equity.
money, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So I don't myself per se see a pop.
Yeah.
We may, come down a little bit in the, house price rising, but a bubble.
Yeah,
It's not gonna happen.
And I like to use the analogy of an airplane. When an airplane takes off, it goes up, and it goes up real high at about 36,000.
Okay.
And it levels off about 38,000.
Okay, it
So what the
levels
real
off.
estate market is doing, we're going to be leveling off.
Okay.
Now, sometimes you get a little storm when you're on a plane, and they get a little turbulence,
Right. Okay. Right.
and then they may go up a little bit higher as far. Now, what we faced in 2021 is that turbulence where we had to get air traffic controller that we go up higher.
We gotta go
So
higher.
we went higher in our prices. People started bidding above the appraisal value.
Right.
We didn't have enough inventory.
Okay.
But when
that was a problem.
that was a real problem. It's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
a problem because
Okay,
we
so-
have plenty buyers, not enough inventory.
And it was
it's
reverse.
the buyer's market now.
So it's a seller's
Seller's
market.
market.
Seller's
Seller's
market.
market.
Right.
Okay,
So
okay.
when we have that, so again, to do away with the myth of the bubble is we have to understand what created it back in 07 and 08. We had
Right.
predatory lending.
Right.
We had stated
Right.
income.
That
We
was
had-
a vicious
It
era.
was vicious. We had
Right.
access to appraisers. You could tell an appraiser, matter of fact, people went to prison about it.
Yeah.
Hey man, I need this house to appraise at 1.2 when it was really only worth 850,000. So that's why you saw lenders and appraisers, going to prison because we had different realtors going to prison.
Wide open, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Right.
because there was so much access to. Now you can't call an appraiser. So now when you get in contract, we find you a home. We give that contract once it's approved and accepted. We give it to the lender.
Okay.
The lender then orders the appraisal. The only way they could do it is call an 800 number. and whoever kind of it's under control.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's more control now versus the predatory lending we had before. You know, the stated income.
Right.
You know, people were buying homes telling you, I worked at the casino as a valet. I made $80,000 in tips.
It was crazy.
See, that was stated.
I knew something was wrong.
Yeah, and then the other thing was they had adjustable rate mortgages.
Oh, that was killing.
That was killing. So let's understand all the things that capped the market that took a bubble. Okay. We no longer have that.
Right.
So now that we don't have it, why do I worry about a bubble when the interest rate's 2.75, 2.875?
That's unheard of.
That's unheard of. But now it's not all-time low. That's right.
Last year it dropped to 1.99.
Yeah. So where would a bubble come from if I'm that low? Where am I going to bubble to?
Yeah.
But the other thing was the interest rates were 6, 7, and 8, 9%.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
See what I mean? So when the bottom fell to 4, well, your 401 became a 201 now. You know what I mean?
Or non-existent.
Yeah, right. All of that. So when we hear people say a bubble, I'm telling you all the reasons why we won't have a bubble. Now will we level out? Yes, absolutely. Right. We'll level out. Okay. You know, but we still need inventory. We still need people who are looking to sell their homes, because again, people don't realize you could sell your home and take that equity, put it on another home. And just like we're getting ready to do, we're taking this $80,000 out of it. I'm just waiting on the appraiser to tell me what my value is. I think I'm close to 5. I owe 270.
Okay.
I did upgrades, granite, flooring, and things like that.
Top of the line.
So I got turf running back. You know, I think the couple Benzes might have helped me get a little favor, you know, in the garage, you know. My old school might have helped, you know what I'm saying, you know. And the fact I'm a realtor, I'm hoping he's going to give me a little, you know.
Right.
But again, we're just taking the money. We're going to pay down some things that we want to take care of, raise the scores. Okay. She said by February, she said, I want you guys you could buy that other house. But guess what? What I want to share with the audience, that's just using equity. That's not touching your savings. That's not touching your checking. That's why equity is so important. Or your 401.
None of that.
That's why equity. That's why you got to get a house. I don't care if it's a small house, a condo, townhouse.
Something to get started.
Something to get started. I have people who are picky, don't want to live on the west side, but everybody want to say we got to keep the west side historical. But you don't live there.
You don't want to live there.
But you go buy a house in a gated community, and first thing you do is you put a ring and a vivid doorknob, cameras.
Yeah.
You can't put that over there?
You can't put,
Right.
Lady told me I ain't buying a house if I got to live over there. I said, for real?
Right.
So remember now, when you pay rent, you're paying a mortgage. You're paying someone else's mortgage.
Rent versus owning.
Yeah,
And you paying their debt down, too,
exactly,
right? Okay,
exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I'm going to give you them. I just closed the deal yesterday, gave the guy a key. I believe he went back in to cry.
Once he found out the truth.
No, once he got those keys, because he was the one that almost didn't sign yesterday.
He didn't think it was possible.
Yeah. He didn't think it was going to happen.
And so what had happened? What was the situation with that? What had happened?
His dad didn't want to sign. That was the guy I told you had a little situation that morning. So we almost didn't get the house.
Okay.
So it took 2 hours with my mobile notary, but thank God she was a pastor's wife. She was patient with him. Understood. He's an older guy. He was a little cranky. He needed somebody to work with him. He wasn't sure. You know, he's just having some in and out moments. But when he came back to, he went and signed. And so at the end of the day, we laughed. But as I was leaving, because I had another event, I was giving him the keys. I felt in his voice, his demeanor had changed, and he started blinking a little bit more. He said, "Man, Deville, I got it, bro." Yeah, he was getting that. He was getting that reality was coming on him, and we took a couple pictures. And he was showing the keys. He's like, Deville, it really happened, man. He said, man, nobody in my family, and it makes me get emotional. He says, because nobody in my family ever owned a house. Wow. He said, I make the first. No, this is a young dude. He's 40s. He's in the 40s. He said, but nobody in his generation owned a house. He the first. He the first to own a house.
That's huge, man.
And so so when I left, I'm telling you, man, he was getting in the truck, and then he decided he's going to go back into the house. I said, dude, going to cry.
But you got to talk about, too, the fact that so sometimes in your real estate transaction, everything doesn't go as smooth as you expected. Sign the dotted line. Okay, I'm approved. Okay, now I have this house, and in 30 days I'll get my keys. In this particular guy's situation, it didn't happen. What, like 1 or 2 days before closing? But the important part to remember about the current real estate market is, don't give up. We're still fighting for you as your realtor.
In fact, when she says that, this same buyer was with another lender. He actually had another realtor. Before he came, he had a whole nother realtor and a lender, but he'd been hearing me on the radio. Wow. And people hear me But they call other. Well, everybody got a realtor in their family.
Right.
But do they know what Deville know?
Yeah.
That's the game.
They know, right.
Do they know what I know? So what happened is he been hearing me, but he been looking at houses with another realtor. He says, man, but I'm not satisfied. In fact, it was a family member.
Okay.
He wasn't satisfied with the service he was getting.
Okay.
So he said, man, Deville, he said, I'm already approved, and I've been looking. I'm just not satisfied with the help that I feel like I'm getting. He said, I said, so have you heard my show? He said, been hearing your show for a minute. So it made me think about, could I get a, long story short, he was with a lender who couldn't get it done. The lender called just before and says, well, at the end of the day, he's not approved. He needed, end of the day, when the file went to underwriting, the underwriter kicked it out. Because you remember, the loan officer, there's a boss to her, it's called an underwriter.
Okay.
So when it goes to the back office, they fine-tooth it. And when they fine-tooth the file, he wasn't approved.
He wasn't approved for what he was trying to get.
For the house that I was selling him. Now, granted, I sold the house, the house that he wanted, I sold it to another guy a year and a half prior. The COVID put him in and set him back.
Okay.
So he said, Deville, I'm gonna sell and take my equity and I'm gonna just go rent for a minute. He's an older guy.
Okay.
He was on a fixed income.
Okay.
So it was kind of tight for him. Gotten behind, they did a forbearance, just was a little tight.
Okay.
But my guy fell out and he didn't get approved. So I had to send him to another one of my lenders and he got creative. He said, okay, well, we're gonna need a cosigner.
Okay.
So that's where we got Dad to come on board.
Okay.
And Dad is the same one yesterday who was almost about not to sign.
Oh,
so we done been
okay,
through. So that's why I say he went in to cry, man, because we went through some hurdles.
Yeah, but y'all didn't give up.
We
Y'all
didn't give
wanted to
up.
see
We
the
stayed.
deal through.
Look, at the end of the day, our passion is to help.
Yeah.
Listen, it's not about money for us. We got money. That's not.
Money's a byproduct.
That's it.
Right.
We're not
Helping.
concerned.
Yeah.
I want to see you. I want to see you cry.
Yeah.
I want to see you get so emotional you start batting and your throat get a frog and you know.
And you know what? That's huge for a lot of people,
man, that's
a lot of
huge for us,
families,
bro.
man.
I had bad credit.
Yeah.
That was huge for us. We got our own house, 6-bedroom.
That's crazy.
That's more than we could have
I
thought.
mean, you can even speak to that.
I'm telling you,
can
right,
attest to it.
right.
Yeah.
That's why our show has been so awesome this will be our 6th year on radio
Okay, I'm about
in
to ask you,
November.
6 years, okay.
6 years on radio,
Wow.
3 days a week. And then I picked up the AM show.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Do I help a lot of the other ethnicities? No. I help a lot of us.
You help a lot. That's our
I help a lot of us.
Yeah. They gotta find they Greg DeVille.
Yeah.
You know, we got our hey, we got ours, but they gotta find theirs. Man. Can't help everybody.
Yeah, right.
You're Greg DeVille and you're Marquetta. Okay.
They
Okay.
got to. They got
That's
to. But I
good.
know what y'all
All right.
doing on the show.
All right.
I love that, man. That's
Right on.
a lot of good information with that show. How did that evolve? How did that situation happen at KCEP?
So it's funny you would ask that. I because I do flip homes. So
Okay.
back in 2015, I did a flip, and I cleaned up because I do a lot of my own work.
A lot of you. So you
I
keep
do
a lot of the money.
Yeah, I keep a lot of the money. Yeah.
Okay.
Because remember, before I became a realtor, I was doing homes anyway.
Man.
So I go in there. I went to school to be a plumber, but I'm a skilled handyman. I do roofs, everything.
Okay.
I bought a house for $27,000 on Monroe in J Street.
Okay.
In
Right
the
over there.
hood.
Okay. Yeah.
That little house for $25,000. Well, actually, it was $30,000. It was bad. And actually,
Lot of work.
a
Okay.
lot of work. In fact, the investor that went in with me, she sent her husband to look at it, and he told her I wouldn't touch that house. But she had seen what I could do. She said, "Yeah, but we talking about Greg DeVille. You know, that's what he do."
Yeah.
And she didn't tell me in the beginning. She went against what her husband told her. He said, "I wouldn't put my money in it. That's a mess." But she had seen me do something else.
Okay.
And she didn't tell me till after we sold the house. But I did it for that was a $30,000 house. We put 30 into it. We sold it for about 150.
God.
And so we cleaned up pretty good.
Cleaned up
pretty
yeah.
good. I did it in like under 60 days. Put it on the market and sold it. Had some money. I wanted to run some commercials.
Okay. Some
I needed to invest some money.
Okay.
I didn't know where exactly.
Okay.
I was thinking I was going to executive produce a CD for this sister at the church who sings really well. I said, but I need you to tell me how can I make my money because I think you got a great gift.
Okay.
And I'd love to put you on a CD. But how do I get my money out of the deal? How would I put that money up and get that money? She could never explain it. I gave her a couple months. She never said nothing to me. I said, okay. One day I'm on the radio. I hear some commercials. I decide I'm going to go to the radio station. And so the lady says, well, yeah, we have commercial slots, and here's what it costs.
30, 60-second slots.
Well, no, they're only 30. Only 30
okay.
spots on this station. She says, well, what would you say in 30 seconds? I'm like, ooh, I got too much information for 30 seconds.
Right.
She said, well, we do offer 30-minute talk shows. I said, okay. That was my reaction. Okay, I could do some stuff. I could do some stuff. But when she told me it was $300 a week, Now, granted, I got some money, but I don't know what this gonna do. I'm just
ready to spend $1,200.
Right. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know now, but okay. You know, and my first show, I got a deal. I closed that deal in 30 days, and I made $16,000.
So that 300 is nothing to get that 16,000.
Right.
Yeah. I made six. So from that day forward, I'm 6 years now.
Yeah, 6 years for okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 6 years in from that one deal.
One day.
That's what I'm saying. I made 16.
Return on investment,
the return
right?
That was phenomenal. So I never left radio. In fact, I added days because I added days.
Let's get some more of those days.
Right.
Yeah. And Marquetta, if I can lean to you on this one, how important do you think, to tag onto that, in this era is social media and an online presence as realtors and what you do? How important do you think that is? Because I know you're pretty active on it. Both y'all are, but how important do you think being visible and being seen is in this era? So
one of the things that when I got into I'll take it back. One of the things when I left my job at Lens Crafters that Greg said, I need somebody, because I keep running into people and they say, I called your office, but you didn't call me back. Okay. Or I just bought a house, but I forgot you were a realtor. And I'm like, okay, if we're putting $1,200 a month into radio, and that was just one show at a time, it made me say, I need you always. So when I got my real estate license, Greg will tell you, I'm always like, I'm a realtor. I'm a realtor. Stay in people's way. Because one, we never want to hear, I forgot you were a realtor. Right. So I've even changed the fact, instead of doing a birthday card, when we give a birthday gift, you're going to get my real estate card. So I don't care if you won 5 or 65.
When you ready to buy it,
you're going to know that gift you got was from me, and I'm a realtor. That's important. And it's important on social media also, because being in Las Vegas, we get people from all over. We're a melting pot. And so I feel like you said they got to find their Greg Deville. I feel like I'm their Greg Deville and their Greg Deville and their Greg Deville. I want everybody to know. I want some of everybody money.
And she's different than me. And she's different than me in that aspect. I really
But you need that. You know what I'm saying? You got both ends of it.
And I think she'll pick up that side of the fence.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm good in my lane. I do well here. I'm good in my lane.
But together, y'all complement each other.
Yeah, right. She does much better at, because I get a little perturbed with some of the behavior on the other side.
Right, it is.
And that's just my male. But she does better because she's worked that side. I didn't do a lot of that. So she's better at that. And that's cool. That's cool. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but that works. Yeah, but especially in this era, it's important. It's important.
Absolutely.
Speaking of events and stuff y'all do, speak about the Echelon Event Center.
Wow.
When did that start, man? When did that situation happen? Beautiful place.
Yeah, black event. Black people own it. Our good friend Devin Moore.
Okay, y'all have anything to do with it, like as far
not
as
necessarily. We do promote it.
Okay,
we do promote it.
Okay,
we promote it. We're considered like a sponsor to it.
Okay, that's what.
And so we do our black. So I started the Black Real Estate Professionals Network.
I want to ask you
because I wanted to. I want to network black people.
Okay.
I sold a house, and the way that came to me was, I sold a home to a guy, and I had a Latino guy putting in some laminate flooring. Okay. And I was talking to the seller. He says, "Yeah, Deville, man, I want to do some granite counters." Well, Hector was on the floor doing tile. Hector got up from the tile and came up and said, "Hey, my cousin Jose does granite."
That's how they be, too.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, "Hold up, Hector, hold up. I got this. He promoting his cousin." A light went off, brother. That said, you know what, if we could promote each other like that, how Hector got up off his knees putting in laminate floors to put Jose in the game.
Speak right up on his people.
Right on his people. You know what I mean?
And
tree trimming service. He had another cousin who does tree trimming. So he had somebody, and I like, you know what, man, we need to do that. So I got together with some other my realtor friends, said, you know what? And what I actually told my wife, and it was another lady named Roxanne Robinson. She's a title rep for what we do. And I was telling her, I said, you know what, I want to start an organization just for blacks. And I wanted to we can network with one another. So if I'm going to use, I need a granite guy, I want to be able to use a black granite guy. If I need an electrician, I want to be able to use a black electrician. Because Hector was big on helping his family. And I use Hector as an example. No disrespect.
But that's a prime example.
But that's a prime example. And that lit me. And so now every Tuesday night we have the Echelon, we do the Black Professional Network.
Tuesday night?
Every Tuesday night at 5:30. So whatever your business is. We met a young girl, came about 3 weeks ago. She's a woman, but she looks like a young girl.
Okay.
I thought she was there with her mom. When she was there with her mom, she looked really young.
Okay.
But I said, so what's your business? She says, I'm a tutorer. And she's a graduate of Grambling State.
Okay.
She's a certified teacher. But she started a business tutoring.
Okay.
And she said, I didn't want to be a teacher. I just wanted to tutor. And I said, wow. We gave her a plug on our radio show. She called me last week to say, Mr. Deville, I just wanted to thank you for the plug. She said, because I got several phone calls from your plug. And we wouldn't have met her if we didn't have the network. See what I'm saying? That's why it's important to get out there. Whatever you do, come to our network. Bring business cards. Because if you're serious about it, I'm going to put you, I get the mic at the end of the show. And I spotlight your business. And then on my radio show, I spotlight your business. I want to see you grow. But what I like to make sure is that you're committed to the business.
Right.
You know, a lot of my painters and tile and electricians, I'll have them do some work for me first.
To test it out.
To show, to know that you, to number one, know that you show up. Number two, to know that your prices are fair.
Right.
Because as a business owner, to get my business started, I didn't charge high prices. I needed to get in the door, show my ability, show my skills. And people said, man, he good. Man, I got more work than I can handle. You know, I did AC Green, Byron Scott back in the 90s, man. My handyman business blew up. And so I kept that same, idea and concept is treat everybody the same. And promote what other people. That's it. Everybody knows somebody.
Like and the good thing about sorry to cut you off there. The good thing about the Tuesday night networking, as you know, there's a lot of magazines, black business,
press and all that.
Everything out there. But when you actually can put a name and a face together and know how that person made you feel when you came in contact with them, that makes a world of a difference.
And you remember that.
Right.
You remember that. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like they said, your network determines your net worth.
Right.
You've been seeing my flyer. You've been seeing my flyer. Because that show is my flyer lingo.
That's huge.
I'm going to have to patent that.
Yeah.
So people know where that really came from. Absolutely.
The more people that know you, the more people can flow you.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
you know
good.
what I mean?
Okay, that's yours. I give you that one. I give you that one. I give you that one. That's good.
That's a big component, man. That's a huge component.
That's good stuff.
But I definitely appreciate your information. Stopping by. Anything else y'all want people to know? How easy it is to get in touch with y'all? Even the name Deville Realty sounds like a luxury brand. You know what I'm saying? When you hear that, it just sounds like something luxury I want to be a part of.
Thank you.
So anyway, y'all want to let people know how to get in touch with y'all, how to find out about some of the programs.
So we're, and I appreciate the luxury part.
Yeah.
Although we don't do a lot of luxury.
Right.
Because my people aren't there yet.
But it don't got to be there. But the level of service can be luxury.
So that's good too. Yeah. But what I want to say is I like to let everybody know. I don't care if you're buying a condo. Because remember, with Devilles, it's not about money.
I don't care if you're buying land.
Yeah, if you're buying land. Right. I just want to see you get some real estate. That's it. So we ain't worried about you. Well, Deville, I don't really want because I'm only good at 150.
Yeah.
We're going to find something for you.
We're going to find something for you.
That's it. So don't think we just luxury. Because I got realtors, that's all they want to do. But I found that ain't what God had for me. God had me in the grind, brother. I'm right here in the grind. I'm getting you a house. It need a roof repair. We gonna get that done for you. You want to buy this one? I like it, Deville, but it need a roof. I got a roofer guy. I got somebody. That's it.
System.
I got a whole crew of people. So I want to, and I appreciate the luxury, but I want people to not just think of us as luxury. We will do it.
Yeah.
But right now, it don't have to be there, brother. You could be ground zero, starting on a little. You could be living on Swenson and Spring Mountain. You know what that is.
But you still getting some real estate.
I want to see you. I want to put you in the game. Okay. You got to get your piece of the pie because because I want to part in this. When you pay rent, you're already paying a mortgage, baby. You're just paying somebody else's. Yeah. I want to put you on the game how to be in the driver's seat.
Right.
Because you're a passenger right now.
Right.
You need your own vehicle.
Right.
You paying into a car. When you ride Uber, you paying that guy's car note, riding Uber to work every day. I need to get you a car. So this is real estate. This car that I'm getting you is real estate. No, it ain't gonna be your dream home, baby. but it's gonna be yours.
It's gonna be yours.
And 3 to 5 years, I tell people you can look at 3 Christmas trees, 5 Thanksgiving dinners. I don't care how you look at it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the humor about that, but it sticks to people.
It sticks to
Deville told me 3 Christmas trees. It's my second tree,
Go
baby.
by like that.
Yeah, it
Right.
will. It will. This is my second tree. Deville told me one more tree. You know, call me back. Now don't call somebody else. Call Deville.
Call me, right,
Call
right,
Marquetta.
right.
And let's see where you at by then.
Yeah.
You know, and let's take that equity. You can sell it and get 100% of the equity, or you can refinance it and get up to 80%.
And pull the equity out.
Pull the equity out like we getting ready to do and buy another house. I want a single story. I need somewhere to park the boat trailer.
Right,
I'm paying a trailer space to pay. I'm like, you know what? I just need more space.
Right.
I can put that onto the mortgage, you know. So that's the idea. But we're simply, and what I like everyone to know is we're doing it through equity. We're not talking about a savings account, a 401k.
No.
I'm talking about just because you've been paying your rent, your mortgage,
Just because you've been doing the right thing.
the right
Right.
thing. Because you pay rent, you're going to pay rent, or you're going to get evicted.
Yeah.
People don't realize rent is due by the 5th. It's late after the 5th, right? It's due on the 1st, late after the 5th.
Late after the 5th.
Your mortgage isn't due until the 15th. It's not, it doesn't show in your credit report if you pay it by the 30th.
Ain't that something?
Ain't
You
that
got
something?
29 more
You
days.
got 29
Right.
more days. So
That's crazy.
if you need an alternator, you can get it.
You
You
can
can't
go
rent.
do
You
it.
can't get an
Right.
alternator and
You
pay the
sure
rent.
can.
You're gonna have to Uber for a few days,
Right.
or
Right.
what's that payday loan
Yeah, pay their loan.
to get that alternator.
That's
You know,
huge.
and that's the difference we bring.
Yeah.
That's the difference Deville brings to real estate. It's those simple things. You're like, I know, and I sell more homes to people say, man, I didn't even know that.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't even know
It's a
that.
lack of information.
That's
too.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
People destroy for lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
And so we just want to continue to pour the knowledge. And like I said, I understand I'm not going to win every deal. Marquetta not going to get every client. But we have a team.
You got a team.
We got a team. Our team's 42 with 3 locations, Green Valley, Henderson, North Las Vegas, Centennial area, as well as our Boca Park location, which is virtual office.
That's all over.
We just wanted to be
Right.
around
Was
Vegas.
that strategically done to be?
I believe
certain-
God gave it to us, man. Because when I started, I had the Summerlin Boca Park, and then I branched over here because there wasn't enough space over there because that was
Okay.
kind of virtual.
Okay.
Then I got something near the house,
Okay.
and then the Holy Ghost get to dealing with me about Henderson. Wasn't sure about Henderson, but I was telling my wife, I said, babe, for some reason I got to be in Henderson. And we went to a meeting. We were riding around looking for a place. Nobody ever called us back. There's one lady who owns a lot of real estate, heard about Greg Deville. And she told the lady who held the meeting, she said, tell Greg Deville, I'll rent him that space for $1 a square foot.
Come on, are you
She
serious?
called me back. She said, I will rent you my space for $1 a square foot. I just want you in my plaza. She said, because
Like
what
what
you're
you was
doing,
doing.
she said,
Yeah.
we like what you're doing, $1 a square foot. You can have that space. And nobody else called me back. She called me. We took the space. And it was
that's
just
that
phenomenal.
Favors, like you can't count that when you're
And
just
when-
doing the right thing.
Right.
And people want to see you win. People
That-
see you win.
You know, and like I said, when you're giving back,
Right.
when you're
right.
giving back, when you stand in your lane, what God gave you to do, just stay in your lane. Don't chase money. I tell people, we're not chasing money. Money chasing us.
Chasing it, right. That's how it
People
should
call
be.
me and say, Deville, I want to spend some money, but can you help me get a house?
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
free buyer representation.
Yeah.
A buyer doesn't pay us. The seller pays the commission. So I'm putting you up on game. You don't pay me anything. People don't realize they go to a new home builder. Well, we was trying not to have to pay the realtor. You weren't gonna pay me anyway.
Anyway.
The
Right.
builder was gonna pay you.
Yeah, okay.
And then they call me after they go to builder. Oh, Mr. Deville, we ran into a hiccup. How can we? Unfortunately, because you went without a realtor, I can't represent you now.
Right.
It's like you starting in a court case without
Without a lawyer,
representation.
right.
You
Yeah,
can't bring a
we got
lawyer.
charges
Yeah,
on it.
yeah. Don't go in without the realtor.
Yeah, I
without
can't
the
do nothing
lawyer.
with you
Yeah,
there.
I
Right.
can't touch it now.
Yeah.
I got to backpedal everything you said.
Yeah.
But you signed the contract already. You pleaded guilty to a charge
Yeah.
that I can't pull up.
Can't do nothing.
I can't do nothing with it. So that's why they say get representation, even if it's a pro bono, even if it's a public defender.
Some kind of representation.
Get some kind of representation. So we're that representation in the real estate game.
Right.
You know, whether buying, selling, or investing, Deville Realty can help.
Okay. That's good, man. I appreciate that information. Y'all can get in touch with them, DevilleRealty.com.
DevilleRealty.com, that's a way.
Facebook.
Facebook, go to Greg Deville. I have a Deville Realty Facebook, but so many people know Greg Deville
Right,
that
right.
they just go Greg Deville. If you
Greg
Google
DeVille.
Greg
Marquetta
Deville,
DeVille.
Marquetta
Marquetta.
Deville, so you just Facebook, which personable for us.
Well, I'm on everything.
Yeah,
Everything.
I'm on
Facebook,
everything too now.
Instagram,
Hold on.
TikTok.
What's your lane, bro? What's your lane?
I'm at Deville. I'm at Deville on IG.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are y'all, before we close, what is y'all aspirations and goals for 2022? Looking forward towards the new year. What do y'all have in store?
Wow.
Y'all?
For me, it's staying in what I'm doing.
Okay.
I don't have anything. I'm not changing anything, brother. It's working.
Just
Don't
grinding
reinvent the
it
wheel.
out.
If the wheel's working, keep the wheel oiled.
Right.
I'm just gonna keep oiling the wheel. Now, if something new hands down, what I've been staying on top of are the interest rates.
Okay.
Because again, my passion is to see people start creating wealth through equity, and I want you to get it on the right interest rates.
Right interest rate.
But I don't know that that's anything that God has given me to do different.
Okay.
Because what we've been doing has been such a blessing and an asset.
It's been working.
It's been phenomenal, and I haven't had anything to change on. You know, maybe a little more boating in there, but you know, that's about it. Marquetta may
I'll say
now
different.
Marquetta may have some stuff. Yeah,
I do. So I really have a passion about the youth getting into home ownership.
Okay.
A lot of us talk about, oh, I wasn't taught that as a kid. So one of my goals for 2022 is to make sure I do more events, more classes to help the younger crowd under 40 get into home ownership.
Right.
So that'll be my drive.
And locked out of that.
Right, right. Because a lot of people in their 40s and 50s that we meet now, they're like, it's my first home because I wasn't taught
That's a long time.
Right.
Yeah. And they probably wasn't, didn't have exposure or access to the information early on.
Right.
Right.
But that's good. That's a good thing.
And I think she has the personality for the young. She does. She has that youthful about her. And so I'll just, right. So we'll and so what I learned in this thing too is let her do what God has given her to do. Don't try to be everywhere, all the time.
Be you.
Just do what I'm doing. That's why I say I don't have a change, but I know what God has given for Marquetta to do with that youthful heart. Now I sell millennials home, but she's going after them. And I think she has that, and that's her lane.
Yeah, that's her lane.
I've been doing where I'm at in my lane, but that's her lane. And so respectfully, let her do what God has given her to do. You don't have to be controller because we're a partner in business. You have a gift that I don't have.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Right.
That's
it. Works out.
That's it. As long as she runs it through the broker, and I can say, well, the bylaws and the rules of the real estate industry. Say we could do that. My job as the broker is to know the rules and the laws. She can come up with something, I just have to run it by and give it a few days thought. How do we say it? What do we do that we're in compliance? Because it's all about being in compliance. And so, but as far as that for her, I'm totally for it. She knows anything she wants to do, we'll throw money at it. We'll get the venue and Echelon. We want to thank Echelon. We got the owners, every time we see them, they greet us, and they support us. They hear our radio show on the regular. So anytime we want to do something, we have the floor. We got an open door. So we love the community and how they give us the respect and show us the love. It's phenomenal.
It just seems like it's growing.
It is. A lot of people, I meet people and they say, oh, you Greg Deville.
Yeah.
I've been hearing you on the radio. One cat knew my voice. I was in the bank talking to somebody else. Cat was in line about 2 people up.
He heard your voice.
He said, man, are you Greg Deville?
Wow.
And I said, yeah. He says, man, I hear you all the time. I know your voice.
That's crazy.
And
it's that presence being
right.
And that's what God gave me to do, so that people don't ever forget what you do. Always stay relevant.
Always stay relevant.
Always stay relevant. Always don't hit and miss. Stay relevant. There are days I don't want to do the show. There are days I don't feel like doing the show. I don't feel like doing all that talking. And the days I don't want to, and I do it anyway, I get great, phenomenal business.
Ain't that correct?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like
anything's always easy when you feel like doing it.
Right. But it's a job getting out there and having to come up with all the information and staying relevant.
Every week too.
Every week.
I give it to
and some
you,
days
man.
I want to
just some good information.
Some days I want to stay home, man, and just But then I have to remind myself. But this will probably be the day I get the guy who, like the man I just sold a house yesterday. So the owner of the house heard me on the radio one time. Moved here from Ohio. I asked him after he called me. He said, "Young man," he's about 75 years old. He says, "You're talking real good." He said, "I'm a veteran. I want to buy a house. I just moved here. I've been living in a budget suite."
Just like that.
Just like that. And I was doing that flip house, and sure enough, he got approved about the price while I was selling the flip house. Showed the flip house to him. He bought it on the spot.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Wow.
And so
That's
recently
amazing.
we sold a house, but he heard my show. I said, "Mr. Bronson, how many times have you heard my show?" He says, "Just that one time."
Wow.
So
all it takes is that one person.
So if you missed the show, who could you be missing? Who would miss hearing what you have?
Right.
See what I mean? So don't miss a show that you have because you won't be lazy. I want to keep that $300.
You miss an opportunity.
Somebody needs to hear, so we do it. And so there are days I'm asking Marquetta to do it. I'm like, I don't need it, but I've trained her. Yeah. She's heard me enough
to do it
herself, you know. And so I just don't want to miss it, even if I got to do it on the phone. So that's very important. Just stay consistent, man. Consistency pays off. Right. It really does. It really does.
That's huge, man. We're going to wrap it up with Team Deville, Greg Deville, Marquetta Deville. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Make sure y'all check them out, get some information.
Yes.
Make home ownership a reality, not just a dream. Right. Get involved, own you some real estate.
That's it.
D.Fos Podcast, we checking out.
Thank you, everybody. All right.
Thank you. Welcome to the D.Fos Podcast, where we drop insight, inspiration, and information.